Well, 2019 is over, and it was a pretty average year, I would say. We got games like God of War, Red Dead Redemption 2, Super Smash Bros. Ultimate, but when you compare it to that masterpiece that was 2017, man oh man, it just paled in comparison. But you know what? Now's the time to look to the future, to the year 2019, which is actually the present. My God. So basically, let's just cut to the chase. These are my top 10 most anticipated games of 2019. Keep in mind, we're not counting games that haven't been currently revealed for 2019, so no Metroid Prime 4 on this list, no Bayonetta 3, no Last of Us Part 2, even though that game is definitely coming out in 2019, let's face it, and no Death Stranding. And definitely no Final Fantasy VII Remake. That game's coming out 2025 at the earliest. Let's just get on with the list.
Number 10.
What's this? A racing game that isn't Mario Kart? Sign me up! Crash Team Racing Nitro Fueled is a remake of the original game on PlayStation 1. Fun fact, I got it as a gift from the Easter Bunny when I was 5 years old. Yeah, imagine looking inside your Easter basket only to find a copy of Crash Team Racing. It was pretty rad. Even though I played a lot of this game when I was little, I barely remember it. I've been hearing from a lot of people that do have a more fresh memory of the game that it was comparable to the Mario Kart games, possibly even better. That sounds pretty crazy, but considering there aren't many great alternatives to Mario Kart other than I might just pick this game up. That is unless we get the announcement of Mario Kart 9 that year, which I highly doubt.
Number 9.
I'm not even that big of a Yoshi fan, but when I played Yoshi's Woolly World on Wii U, I was pretty surprised. I mainly bought the game just so I could get the adorable plush Yoshi amiibo that came with it, but I also adored the game itself. Now that game is getting a kind of sequel in the form of Yoshi's Crafted World. If it's going to be anything like Woolly World was, then we're going to be in for some fun platforming and levels filled to the brim with collectibles and secrets. Sure, these games aren't particularly hard, but I mostly play them for those secrets hidden within the levels. Not to mention, Crafted World also plays with depth and perception that should make the exploration that much more fun. Is this even a 2D platformer anymore? I don't know, just give me my Yoshi, man.
Number 8.
I'm going to sound like a fake fan here, because I've never beaten a Luigi's Mansion game. Doesn't make me any less excited for Luigi's Mansion 3 though. Matter of fact, I now have that much more of a reason to play the other two games. Truth be told, I was kind of disappointed with the Nintendo Switch's library in 2018. Sure, it had some hits like Pokemon Let's Go and Super Smash Bros. Ultimate, but other than that, it was mostly ports of games I've already played on Wii U and indie titles that didn't really appeal to me. When I saw that trailer for Luigi's Mansion 3, it gave me much more hope for the Switch in 2019. Other than that, I don't have much to say about the game since we don't know a lot about it, but I am very excited to finally go back and play the other two games that I missed out on.
Number 7.
Now here's a title I don't see many people talking about. Control. It's the next game from Remedy Entertainment, who you may know for games such as Max Payne, Alan Wake, and the rather disappointing Quantum Break. That last game is probably the reason why most people aren't that excited for Control. Either that, or it's a new IP, and who cares about original ideas these days, am I right? That said, I have a gut feeling that Control is going to be a hit this year. At E3 2018, I got to see a 20-minute hands-off demo of the game, and I was thoroughly impressed. First off, it's kind of going to be a Metroidvania of sorts, letting players explore one large area and gather abilities that will help them progress. Secondly, the story looks like a complete mindfuck, and Remedy is known for their storytelling, which is why Alan Wake is one of my absolute favorite games. There is always the slight possibility that it may disappoint, but I'm going to go out on a limb and say Control will surprise people.
Number 6.
4 years ago, I came out with a review of a little game called Dying Light. At the surface, it was yet another zombie game, but beneath that surface was a game about hardcore parkour. Parkour! The gameplay of Dying Light is awesome. Jumping on rooftops to avoid hordes of undead nightmares is fun, and it's something not even the sequel to Mirror's Edge could compete with. Now, Dying Light 2 aims to continue that trend with a heavier focus on story and player choice. This is yet another game I saw a hands-off demo of at E3, and I was also impressed by it. You'll find less zombies throughout the day, and instead more bandits and law enforcement. Siding with either of these factions will result in consequences that aren't as black and white as they may seem. Sure, siding with the law will improve traversal and help clean up districts, but you'll also have to follow their strict rules. Something police brutality and whatnot. Either way, here's hoping Dying Light 2 will continue what made the first game an enjoyable experience.
Number 5.
Oh, I'm sorry, just looking at this footage makes me emotional. Anyway, Ori and the Blind Forest blew me away when it came out almost 4 years ago. The presentation was remarkable, the platforming was incredibly well designed, and holy shit, the music. Still my favorite soundtrack of any medium ever. And now it's getting a sequel with Ori and the Will of the Wisps. This time, Ori has a new feathered friend, and it will help him face off against a new howling threat in the forest. Ori will receive new abilities with the help of his owl sibling, and it's going to be a fun ride filled with amazing visuals and definitely a round of feels. I'm not joking when I say that just looking at this game makes me an emotional wreck. How do you do it, Moon Studios? How do you do it?
Number 4.
Rage f***ing sucks. I played about 3 hours of it and got bored very quickly. It's literally Fetch Quest the game. With that in mind, why am I so excited for Rage 2? Because whatever mistakes id Software made with the first Rage, they more than made up for it with Doom (2016). So now they can announce that they're making bottles of water, and I'd buy 10 24 packs of that shit. Of course, Rage 2 isn't being developed just by id Software this time, but also Avalanche Studios, the developers behind the Just Cause and Mad Max games. Now, Mad Max wasn't that great, but the car combat in it was just wicked, so I have all the more faith in Rage 2. I love myself a well-designed shooter game, and unlike Rage 1, Rage 2 looks to be the opposite of boring. Think of this game like Doom meets Mad Max, and a colorful explosion of blood and guts. Not to mention there will be some fast-paced car combat throughout the post-apocalyptic open world. So yeah, I'll give Rage 2 a chance, because it's given me no reason to worry that it's just going to be Rage 1 all over again.
Number 3.
I really didn't enjoy the Game Awards last year. It was just one Metroid Prime 4 announcement away from being great. But alas. Still, there was one game announcement that stood out to me the most, and that was The Outer Worlds from Obsidian Entertainment. You know, the original creators of Fallout. Thanks for reminding us, guys! Hell, some people still think Fallout New Vegas is the best Fallout game, and they're probably not wrong. It had a way better story than what we're used to from Bethesda Game Studios, and it looks like they're taking what they learned from New Vegas and incorporating that into the Outer Worlds. Judging by the footage on screen, it does look like space Fallout, I won't lie, but seeing the current state of that series, it looks like the Outer Worlds is the game Fallout fans really need right now. You'll explore many settlements, engage in some immersive dialogue, and battle many creatures and foes. You'll even develop phobias of certain creatures if you engage them more than usual. And if you want your protagonist to be a dumbass, you can make them a dumbass. And you know what? This game has the chance of being nominated for Game of the Year across many channels and gaming outlets. RPG fans, get excited.
Number 2.
Before we get to this next game, here's my reaction to Super Smash Bros. Ultimate.
Smash! 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 Smash!
Holy!
Now here's my reaction to Animal Crossing Switch.
Yes! Yes! It's Animal! Oh my god.
Yeah, I kinda like Animal Crossing. While we know practically nothing about this game, a new Animal Crossing is always something to be excited about, which is why it's number 2 on my list. It has been a whopping 5.5 years since the last Animal Crossing game, and an even more whopping 9.5 since the last Animal Crossing game on a home console. The best part is that the Nintendo Switch is both a handheld and a home console. Guys, this is perfect for Animal Crossing. Now we still have a few questions, like what will this game look like, what new features will be added, will we still be the mayor? These questions will be answered in due time, but for right now, I can rest easy knowing that I'm going to play a new Animal Crossing game in this current year.
Number 1.
Oh, hell yes. If there's anything you should know about me, it's that I f***ing love Doom. Even though I got into the series very late, I still enjoy playing every single entry from the first one to the latest reboot goal released in 2016, and that was my favorite game of that year, period. How on earth could they top this one? Well, id Software surely answered that question at QuakeCon, when they showed off 25 minutes of glorious gameplay that makes the last game look like child's play. Levels are way more vertical, there are twice as many demons that look like their original models, and the super shotgun has a f***ing grappling hook. Traditional game design rules say that if you want the sequel to be better, then you add a grappling hook. And I usually hate it when developers try to incorporate online into single-player campaigns, but having players invade another person's campaign as demons sounds like a great idea if pulled off correctly. Like I stated earlier, I'm excited for Rage 2, but that's only because it's going to hold me over until Doom Eternal releases. That is, unless Doom somehow comes out sooner than Rage 2, which I doubt is happening at all. I love Doom so much that I'm going to buy Eternal on both the PC and the Switch. One for slaying demons at home, and the other for on the go. It just works. So there you have it. Those are my top 10 most anticipated games of this year, 2019. Tell me, what's your top 10 most anticipated games? Let me know in the comment section down below, or feel free to tweet it to me at Ferris Wheel Pro. With that out of the way, thank you guys so much for watching. This has been Joey Ferris of Ferris Wheel Productions. We will see you guys next time.